guys, so this is What Music Means to Me, and today I'm going to be talking about the song Not My Fault by Renee, Rapp, and Megan Thee Stallion. So the song is already released as well as the music video. I will have the link for the music video down in the description if you want to check it out, if you haven't already. And this is basically in for the movie Mean Girls, which comes out on January 12th. Now, I feel the song very much embodies a lot of confidence, very much has the messaging of empowerment. And I think, too, at least from when I listened to it after hearing it definitely more than once, because it has been on repeat for me, I feel it is very much of the mindset or kind of almost thought process, you could say, of a Regina George, of you could also combine it with a Plastic, where you just have that confidence, you just have that kind of sense of empowerment where you are kind of at the top of the food chain here above everybody else. And with that sort of mindset, that is, I don't want to say where you feel like you're better than everybody else, but with the different lyrics and what they talk about, that's where it's like, hey, it's not my fault that some of these different things happen, which again we'll go through a little bit later. As well as too, where you have Renee Rapp, who is Regina George in the movie, was also Regina George in the actual like stage production of the show. You also have Megan Thee Stallion, who has referenced herself as a form of Regina George before. I think it very much just kind of, it's almost like a full circle. It very much just like, hey, this is very much just embodying different things where it's like, given the confidence level, given different things that maybe from the original movie, given different things even too from, you know, this musical adaptation that, you know, was on the stage. Now we're seeing it in kind of this musical movie format. This is kind of what we're given, and this is the embodiment of that. So let's go over the lyrics, let's talk about it, and kind of go from there. I do have to say, every time when I have listened to this song, I still just cannot get over the beginning where it is a callback to the original film where it's Lindsay Lohan and she goes, you know what, it's not my fault, like you're in love with me or something. And again, I think for most people, they've seen the film. Some may not, you know, but you may know the lines because it's such a quotable movie. So many people have quoted this movie and you just know different things from it, like the October 3rd stuff, on Wednesdays we wear pink, that sort of thing. And it's just different things like that where even if maybe you haven't seen the movie, I don't know, just having that little tidbit, just the little tie in there, for some reason that, I don't know, it's just stuff like that that makes me happy. May not be for everybody else, but going into the chorus, you have, it's not my fault, you came with her, but she might leave with me. It's not my fault, you've got to pay for what I get for free. It's not my fault, you're like in love with me. And so essentially for me, every time I hear, like every time what I get from this chorus is it very much, as I stated in the beginning, it's confidence. It is very much this. You can also say empowerment because if you feel like a sense of, once you kind of step into a room and you can kind of take control of a room, again, if you've only seen the movie, maybe you haven't seen the stage show, which I'm assuming is very much like the movie, um, and maybe also haven't seen the movie that has come out yet. But Regina, and I think just the Plastics in general, they just have a presence about them. It's nothing in regards to, I feel like half the time where it's just this sort of sense of confidence, and it's this, different things as you hear within the movie. I don't even want to say it is rumors where it's, oh, I heard she does like car commercials in Japan and different things like that, where you can kind of feel like you can do anything. And that's not your fault. Like, that's just, you're just being you, and you're just kind of doing what you do. And that's not your fault. And that is just the beginning of the song. That's not even getting into the verses and getting into, I would say, more of the nitty gritty, which I feel it just gets better as the song kind of goes on. Because one of my favorite parts is I really like the second verse, which we'll get into, and then the pre chorus as well. But this song just very, like the chorus itself, just very much is, you know, it's confidence. It very much is like, this is my presence, this is it, this is who I am. Now you have the first verse, which kind of like, I don't want to say sets the scene, but it does. But then you get the pre chorus, which is personally one of my favorite parts, because you have, I'm not on the same stuff from before. I can't take this pettiness. Now I'm bored. We can share. That's enough for us all. Told you who I am and what it is. That's not my fault. Personally, the line I just really love the most is, I can't take this pettiness, now I'm bored. Because I think after a while, it just gets old. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of move on now. I'm done. And even the last line here, where it's like, I told you who I am and what it is, like, it's not my fault. And half of this too, again, I think for a lot of people, like when I have watched Mean Girls, I don't want to say I'm a Katie, but I understand Katie because she moved from a place where it is very different. Mind you, I have moved from like multiple places in like every 3 to 4 years, while some people stay at the same place. So while you stay at the same place, it's hard to, I don't want to say like have a better reputation, because I feel like in a lot of cases you can either, like, you start here and then you either just like go up and then you can go down, or you just keep going up, or you kind of like somehow like just keep leveling out. It doesn't ever like, oh, I started down and then I can go up, maybe, but in a lot of cases I feel it's just a lot of up, neutral, up then down. It's not, unless you're new. Unless you're new, you have the opportunity to like shake things up and do something new. And that's what I noticed a lot when I would move around. And that's where that last line for me, I was like, yeah, once I moved somewhere, I'm like, look, I'm just kind of here. I'm not going to play the games, because I would have people who would like tell me different things about people, or like who I should be involved in, or what groups and I'm like, no, like I don't really care. I just kind of did my own thing, and like I was who I was. I didn't care. And so that's not my fault. That's not my fault. I really didn't care where I fell. I'm like, that's not my fault. I also just too am in love with the second verse. I do not know. I think I know why, but get her number, get her name. Get a good thing while you can. Kiss a blonde, kiss a friend. Can a gay girl get an amen? I don't know, just something about it is just, it feels so freeing. It feels, and I feel like half the time with songs, you get it sometimes with that sort of stuff, where, I don't know, it feels authentic, it feels real, and I feel like, too, where, again, it very much just embodies a lot of the, you know, kind of the empowerment, the confidence, where it's like, just kind of do it. Just do whatever. Just have fun with it. Just do whatever. It doesn't really matter. And I think, too, with, Renee Rapp, with having Megan Thee Stallion on the song as well, but especially Renee Rapp singing it, it identifies a lot with just her artistry, who she is. I don't know. I like it. I think it's true and authentic. So you just don't hear it half the time. I like it. And then you have Megan's verse, where there's more to it, but I just want to only talk about a few lines because all of it is great. But these ones in particular, I feel like, I don't know, for me, stand out the most in regards to like references, whether it's towards the movie, and just too with the messaging, where it's funny how Mean Girls open all the doors, but I've told you all I'm the Black Regina George. Bikini top, booty shorts, Megan core. You was hating back then, now you find a hating more. I got influence, they do anything I endorse, and then being a bad bitch is a sport. And so she has referenced in other songs that she is very much like Regina George, or has just made references to whether it is she's Regina and somebody else is more like a Katie. And with the bikini top, booty shorts, Megan core, that is something I think that I don't want to say is a staple, but I think that has been seen a lot for Megan. And I think, too, when it comes to half the time when you know, I think the definition of mean girl, it has changed a lot. Because, yes, there are mean girls, but I think in how you do it, where what is kind of that being directed towards and how do you do it? Because in this case, as we see with Regina and the Plastics, they are, doing things that are not so nice. But if you look at things like how I think some definitions of mean girls are being kind of redefined, where if you look at Euphoria, Maddie, she is very much a mean girl, but she takes a lot of that definition that we had of a mean girl and is still very kind. Like, she just uses that meanness towards people who are mean. So again, I think a lot of that, like the confidence, the empowerment, it's still there, and you can kind of get what you want with that, I would say, energy. It's just, how are you using it? And I think that's where it can be used correctly. And a lot of that is, how are you looking at it and how is it being used? And a lot of this, too, like the rest of the lines in here, it's very much true. It's very much where it's like, I have influence, now they're endorsing me because, look at what I do, look at, everyone's following me, as we see in, the Mean Girls movie itself. I mean, the song very much fits with the essence of the film in and of itself. Those were just some of the lyrics from the song. I highly recommend listening to it all in full, watching the music video if you want and have the time. That too, I think, also just captures a lot of the essence, I think, for Mean Girls as well, matching that tone. So let me know if you have listened to the song, what you think, if you've watched the music video, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.